lot easier with the All right, good afternoon, class. I'm Coach Carter. Just some quick rules. Just make sure you listen quietly. Be attentive. Make sure you're taking notes on the PowerPoint. That will be very important. And just be respectful. Be respectful for your neighbors and be respectful for me. That means no talking, don't be on your phone or anything like that. All right, guys. So for today's lesson, we're going to be analyzing the influence of media and advertisers, the influence that they have on consumers when they make food purchases. We will take a look at some persuasive techniques that they use and how effective these techniques are. So I'm going to ask two questions. One, where do you encounter advertising? Anybody?
TV.
Good. Jane?
On your phone, like social media.
Perfect.
Walmart.
Definitely. Any others?
Radio.
Yes, that's the best one right there, the radio. A lot of advertisements on the radio. What usually makes these advertisements memorable?
If they're funny.
That's good. That'd be like a catchy slogan or something like that.
It's like a buy one, get one free.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, promotions. Promotions are for sure a good technique that they use. Some others that they might use are celebrities or like some catchy music, catchy tune that they have. All right. There's just some objectives that we're gonna for this lesson. Students should be able to recognize persuasive techniques that advertisers use on consumers. Students should be able to create their own advertisement, and students will be able to identify how the media influences consumers. All right. So the first slide we're gonna have is the 5 most common techniques that advertisers use. The first one is repetition. Repetition is a simple yet effective technique used to build identity awareness and customer memory. An ad first shown during a Super Bowl broadcast for a product called Head On remains a classic example of this advertising technique. Though the advertiser never explained what the product does, the viewer remembered its name. Just like anything, the more you see it or hear it, the more it'll stick. The second technique we got is claims. Advertising that describes a product promotes specific features or claims about what a product or service can do for the potential customer, provides successful results by informing, educating, and developing expectations in the buyer. Claims can state facts such as locally grown or new low price. Also, claims can use a bit of a hype for their product, such as calling one brand of orange juice high in vitamin C, or you'll have products that are low in fat or sugar-free. The third technique that we got is association. Associating a product with a company, with a famous person, catchy jingle, describe or a desirable state of being in or powerful emotion creates a strong psychological connection in the customer. Sporting equipment companies use successful athletes in their ads. Automakers display their cars in front of mansions, and cosmetic companies sign celebrities to represent their products. The fourth technique we got it's called bandwagon. The bandwagon technique sells a product or service by convincing the customer that others are using it or that they should join the crowd. Other bandwagon advertisements suggest that the customer will be left out if they do not buy this product that's being sold. These ads often employ glittering generalities, words linked to highly valued ideas or concepts that evoke instant approval, which may or may not relate to the subject of the advertisement. One thing that always pretty much works is America loves. Anytime you connect something with patriotism, that'll create an automatic positive response. All right, and then the last one, we got promotions. Just as you said, you got buy one, get one free, you got coupons, sweepstakes, you can win a prize or anything like that. The attraction of getting something free or earning rewards makes a promotion successful. Limited time offers and entry deadlines add urgency to the advertising techniques. Branding is also one of the most effective strategies used. The brand appeal seeks to remind consumers about a brand they are already familiar with so that they will continue to cling to that brand. Consumers will often times become very attached to certain brands just because of the brand and logo. And just for that picture, Coke, people keep using the brand of Coke to try to get to buy Pepsi or something like that. All right. So what do y'all think the most effective technique out there is?
For marketing?
Yeah, for advertising.
Advertising, I'm sorry.
It's going to be to appeal to their emotions. 3 ways that you can appeal to your emotions is establishing deeper value. There's one thing that is safe to assume about a majority of you in this room, and it's that within arm's reach is your cell phone. Why is that? It's just a little piece of technology used to make calls, right? Well, it certainly wasn't marketed that way. Apple is one company in particular that has thrived on their ability to effectively market to your emotions. Apple's 2013 Christmas commercial for the iPhones tells the story of a young boy who used his iPhone to capture video clips of his family on Christmas Day. And then he takes that video and he puts together a short video that leaves his mother in tears. Apple was not just selling a phone in this commercial, it was selling a feeling of love, belongingness, and connectedness. The next way to appeal to emotions is alleviating physical, psychological pain. People always want to avoid what makes them unhappy. This desire to avoid pain, also referred to as the psychology of pain. What do your prospects want to avoid most? Whether it be embarrassment, anxiety, fear, or any other negative emotion, advertisers use the psychology of pain to their advantage. Industries like health and wellness or financial services typically use the psychology of pain to demonstrate their value to people by directly addressing obesity or debt in their economy. The third technique, or the third way that you can appeal to somebody's emotion, is eliminating regret. In a TED Talk by psychologist Barry Schwartz, he talks about a concept called the paradox of choice. Schwartz refutes the common misconception that more choices equates to more freedom. Instead, he says that choice has made us not freer, but more paralyzed. Not happier, but more dissatisfied. Advertisers avoid offering too many options because it can lead to consumers becoming overwhelmed and frustrated. All right. Have you ever wondered why food looks so good on advertisements? Advertisers use a numerous amount of techniques to make their food look good on their commercials. I just highlighted 3 examples of how they did that. Glue, they use glue instead of milk in their cereal so that the cereal doesn't get all soggy and whatnot, and so it keeps that good look on it. They soak food with a sponge, microwave it so that hot food looks hot. And then the last one example is that meat products aren't actually cooked because cooking can cause them to shrink or dry out. Steak and hamburgers are carefully seared with a blowtorch. Grill marks are added with a branding iron, and before finishing touch, they will use some shoe polish or varnish to apply so it'll bring that nice succulent color out in it. Yeah,
A life
pretty
is a
gross.
lie.
I like the shoe polish.
That's why you, when you go to McDonald's or anything like that, the burger never looks like it's supposed to. Surprisingly though, when I was doing my research for this lesson, I found out that the media is actually becoming a huge asset for health and wellness in our country. Just some things I found. In 2016, the International Food Information Council Foundation found that in most cases, media headlines and articles were near the top of sources that altered consumers' opinions. The media was also a top source that caused a less healthy view of enriched, refined grains, saturated fats, added sugars, and low-calorie sweeteners. Whole grains, protein from plant sources, and natural sugars were among the dietary components that gained a more healthful opinion from consumers based on media headlines. And just to continue some things that I found, this year, 47% of Americans said they look at ingredients on the list of foods or beverage packages when deciding what to purchase. That's up from 40% from 2015, which is pretty staggering. When Americans define what makes a healthy food, it's becoming more about what isn't in the food rather than what is in it. For example, 35% of Americans define a healthy food as one that does not contain or has low levels of certain components such as fat, sugar. The top response when asked in an open-ended question. Alrighty, so I'm going to show you a little video that's going to summarize some of the things that I talked about. There will also be some things that I did not cover, and I'm just going to tell you now for your quiz that's coming up, pay attention to which ones that I did not explain on my PowerPoint.
Jake, you know how to hit that on your right there?
What's that?
Hit to your right, click it on the speaker.
Oh.
I mean to your left, sorry, left. On the back side, there's an on-off,
Oh, there it is.
and then there should be a volume, the right-hand button, I think it is.
I think it was wrong.
I think you just turned it off. You might have to check the volume on the actual computer.
Once you hit play, we'll know.
Oh, yeah.
We know it's coming.
Let's see what we got. I don't believe there is any sound to the commercials.
Every day is a new chance to show the world how phenomenal you can be. Start today with the confidence you get from Gillette Fusion Power Phenom. Fusion Power soothing micropulses help you reduce friction so you barely feel the blades. Try the world's most comfortable shave, Fusion Power. For a few weeks this winter, McDonald's is bringing you a taste of the Olympic Winter Games. With the new sweet chili sauce, the latest sweet and spicy way to dip, dunk, and devour Chicken McNuggets made with white meat chicken. The very same sauce enjoyed at the Olympic Village. Hey.
Hi.
So now, you don't have to be an Olympic athlete to eat like one.
They eat like that.
They have 6 months.
New 5 React Gum. Experience may vary. experiences it differently. New 5 React Gum. Stimulate your senses.
This holiday season, help give kids around the world a chance to play. Use your MasterCard to make a purchase from the Canada Collection by Roots, and the donation will be made to Right to Play.
Good commercial out.
All that money to play, they couldn't buy them food.
Hello, Anne. I have a little problem. Pain.
Where's the pain?
It's in my lower glutey, miss.
Are you got tax pain? There's nothing I can do about that. Next.
Got tax pain? H&R Block can help by getting you the most you're entitled to in just one visit. Walk in with your taxes, walk out with a bill, completely pain-free. We make taxes easy. H&R Block. Come see us today.
I did too, actually.
I was gonna
I thought the exact same thing.
And boy.
The Davis twins are alike in nearly every way, right down to brushing their teeth. So how did only one get gingivitis? Well, more than 1 in 2 Canadians do. That's why I recommend new Crest Pro Health Clinical Gum Protection Toothpaste. It fights plaque of the gum line, helping prevent gingivitis. It's even clinically proven to reverse it in just 4 weeks. And it protects these other areas dentists check most. Looks like the twins are even again. New Crest Pro Health Clinical Toothpaste. Life opens up when you do.
Roots was the cool stuff when I was a kid. The apparel, clothes and roots. We got
All right,
we were hanging on our arm.
So next we're gonna do our little activity. I'm gonna group you into 2 groups. Assign you 1, 2. So I'm gonna start over here. It'll be 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. If you wanna go ahead and break off into your corner of the classroom.
What number was that?
I'll do it on there.
Two.